Hi, today from Black Forest. We'll talk today about another billionaire misconception. Do billionaires come from the best universities in the world with the best education? In my other videos, I was talking about billionaire misconceptions, about coming from rich countries, about coming from rich families. I was talking about the story of Narayana Murthy, about Mohat Altrat, and you may argue, okay, but they managed to get a good education in their lives, and that's what made them so extremely successful in business. So do you really need to have that great education to attend the very best universities in order to achieve such extraordinary success in business? Did the self-made billionaires really need that in their lives? I will tell you today the story of Cao Dewang, in Chinese, in Mandarin pronunciation, Cho Tak Wong. Cao Dewang grew up during the Cultural Revolution in war-torn China. Before he was born, his father had taken off to Shanghai, abandoning the family. And he didn't even give the boy a name. In China, in Chinese tradition, the father is the one to give name to his child. This way the boy didn't have a name until the age of 9. He grew up in poverty. He had 5 siblings and the family didn't even have money to send him to school. He was already late. He was 9 and he didn't even have a name, and the name was needed to go to school. Finally, his uncle gave him a name, Dewang, but the school turned out to be a challenge. Cao was restless and uncomfortable. He felt as if he had nails in his seat. He couldn't sit still. He made fun of the teachers and he was very defiant, and this nature didn't earn him respect or sympathy of the teachers. It wasn't about his grades, it was about his conduct. He often was subject to corporal punishment. When Cao was 12, his father finally returned home. He sent him every evening to the liquor store in order to get him some booze. Dewang started to take a sip or another sip on the way home when bringing his father the alcohol, and in the age of 12 he developed an alcohol habit. In the mornings he needed to get up very early in order to gather kindlings for the family oven. It made him very tired. Once he was humiliated by the school director for falling asleep. Cao didn't let him get away with it. He caught the school director in the loo, in the school loo. The school loo was a simple concrete construction without a roof. He climbed the wall of the loo and happily urinated on director's head. As a result, he needed to leave the school after finishing 5 grades only. His family was actually relieved because they couldn't afford him going to school anyway. But keep in mind that Chinese scripture consists of 90,000 characters and 5,000 of them are used regularly. So Chinese people, they learn to read their entire lives. If you go to school only for 5 years, it means illiteracy. You practically can't read and write after 5 years of school. This way, in the age of 14, Cao became a village doormat. His task was now to take care of just one communal cow. His salary was hardly enough to survive, and nobody wanted to entrust him a greater responsibility. But why wonder? After all, he was a youthful, illiterate rascal with an alcohol problem. And this was at the same time the rock bottom and the turning point of his life. He told me he decided not to give up on himself and to do everything in order to get out of his poverty. And this was the moment when he decided to educate himself autodidactically. So he decided to take his brother's books from school and to read them when he was watching the cow. But there were thousands and thousands of characters he didn't understand. So he kept asking his brother what was the meaning of these characters. But his brother got impatient and he didn't want to help him anymore. So what to do? The solution would be a dictionary. But a good dictionary costed almost 1 yuan. It was a huge amount of money for a co-hand. And here Cao started to show the first signs of his genius and his relentless will. He started to cut the grass at the river and sell it for pennies to the horse keepers. And he saved every penny he earned that way. After a year of saving, he was finally able to buy a dictionary and then to understand what he was reading. So he needed to save money for 3 more years in order to buy an encyclopedia. Finally, he managed to buy also an encyclopedia. And then he started to improve himself step by step and make a progress every day. And guess what? Almost exactly 50 years later, Cao Dewang was named the World Entrepreneur of the Year. The best entrepreneur in the world, if you want. Today, he is a billionaire. He built the largest auto glass manufacturer in the world. And I'm sure in your car, there are pieces of glass from his factories. Cao Dewang never graduated from any school. He never attended any university. He was born in a backward country and his poor family couldn't afford even his elementary education. He is an autodidact and today one of the richest people in China. So if you think you need to attend the best universities in order to have the chance to become a billionaire, to become one of the best entrepreneurs in the world, you are mistaken. If you want to learn more about billionaires, their thinking and their lives, subscribe here. And here you will find one of my best videos. That's it. Thank you and see you from Black Forest.